Hello everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and before we dive into today's Kiki, which is really going to be centered around my conspiracy theory on what I think the real thing that Lisa Rinna wants out of this and why I think Lisa Rinna is lying, and we're just going to break down the episode and go through it all. Because I'm not a doctor, I don't diagnose, but Lisa Rinna, in my opinion, is a sociopath, and we're going to break it down. But before we do that, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And don't forget to shop the description box below and also shop our love collection. I designed it, so I hope you love it. And with that, let's dive right on in. Hey, Darren. Hello, Candy Canes. That's right, you guys. As you come into the room, be sure to say hi, drop your candy canes. Also, if you're watching this on the replay or if you're watching this live, you're going to want to stay to at least midway, at least to the end, because that's when I'm going to drop my real conspiracy theory on what I think is actually going on with Lisa Rinna. I haven't really heard any other person kind of have this thought around it. So I want to know what you guys think and if you agree with my conspiracy theory or not. Hey, Foxy Ripple, what is up? She says, hey, Candy in the chat. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? Hey, Jen Hoff, welcome, 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 Candy Canes. That's right. Come on in, come on in. All right. So let's get started. So I'll go through a couple of things that happened in the episode, and then once we have more people in the room, I'm going to get into my whole conspiracy theory, what I think is really going on in this situation that I haven't seen anybody else really talk about. Let's see. Darren says, word on the street, Kyle and Lisa got into it at the reunion and left things on extremely bad terms. Blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water, but something else. Keep this in mind when I talk about my conspiracy theory, guys. Keep that in mind, okay? All right, so let's get into it. Now, did you guys catch when Dorit said to Lisa Rinna that Kyle and Kathy, they've been through a lot worse? This really is just, and this was what they were talking about. I believe it was at Erica's hair launch pop-up shop, whatever it was, right? So Dorit was saying they've been through a lot worse. No. Dorit said to Kyle on the phone when they were calling in, when Kyle was on the set of Halloween, and she was like, well, you guys have been through a lot worse. I'm sure you'll be able to get through it. Then when Dorit was talking to Rinna at Erica's hair pop-up shop, she was like, oh, this is really more just between two sisters. It's really about them. I'm sure they'll be able to get through it. I don't even know what was said in the Sprinter van, in the bus or whatever. I wasn't there. Okay. So you have Dorit saying whatever she has allegedly heard from Lisa Rinna, because you would all think at this point Lisa Rinna has told Dorit what has been said and what happened. And her response is basically, this is between two sisters. I don't think it's that deep. They'll be able to move on. I don't know what was said. No big deal, right? Okay. That leads me to believe that everything Lisa Rinna has said, or at least the majority of it, is a bold-faced lie. The whole Kathy with the N-word, the whole Kathy with the homophobic stuff, the whole Kathy going off on the other girls. I definitely don't think Kathy said anything about NBC or Bravo. I do think Kathy may have said some stuff about Kyle. Sure, she may have some stuff about Kyle, but the rest of it just isn't tracking. If all of that happened, why would Dorit say that Kyle and Kathy have been through a lot worse, and this is just between two sisters? They keep telling on themselves, and they cannot blame editing. They can't blame Kathy trying to have people edit and NBC and Bravo is protecting her, because you said it on camera and you said it before any of the social media stuff popped off. You said it before, because remember, they filmed all of this way before the social media stuff popped off. The only thing that they were able to edit when it comes to this are confessionals in one-off scenes, like the scene that we saw with Dorit and Kyle in the car. I think that was filmed after everything, when they were acting like they filmed it after Studio 54, but their hair looked exactly the same. And I'm like, I'm a girl. I'm like, your hair doesn't look exactly the same when you get it professionally done. And then you go out and you drink and you party and you sweat and you sleep and you shower. The next day, your hair is different, but their hair was exactly the same. Bravo, quit playing with me. We're not stupid. That was a recreated scene just to insert it, right? But they couldn't have edited and they couldn't have recreated Erica's party. So again, it just keeps going to the fact that Lisa Rinna is lying. I'm going to get into why I actually think she's doing this and who I think knows and is in cahoots with it, right? Okay, now let's get into the fake Erica therapy scene. I could not. First of all, and I'm not trying to shame anybody, but why did Erica's face look raw? Like, did she just have a chemical peel? Did she get the vampire facial? I'm just really confused. I know, Erica, you think that you're on Broadway and you keep having these fake quotes that are so scripted, like, I'm so afraid. Shut up. We were afraid of your face. It was like peeling off of, it was gross. Again, I'm not shaming. I'm not talking about her looks. I'm not doing any body shaming. I'm just saying I did not need to see her face look that raw. That was just completely unnecessary. All right, I'll get off my soapbox with that. But I do think that whole therapy session was fake. And I think it was scripted. And I think if that's a real therapist, not an actor that she hired, if I was the therapy people, I would be looking into her license, because that was the fakest thing I have ever seen in my life. Oh, Erica, your relationship was bad before this, and you're grieving, you're mourning a lot of things. Oh, and you grew up in a family where you weren't allowed to have feelings. Again, like we said with Lisa Rinna's fake non-receipts that she tried to leak out and her confessionals, it's too on the nose. It's too on the nose. This is just Erica trying to do damage control for losing her mind in Aspen, saying she doesn't give a damn about the victims, the alleged victims. Speaking of that, everything in this video is alleged, rumored, my opinion. Okay, so that to me is just Erica really trying to save face without, because again, I'm not a doctor, I don't diagnose, but these narcissistic sociopaths, it's again her way of creating a narrative where she is the victim, creating a narrative where she doesn't have to apologize or take accountability. See, my therapist said that I grew up and I wasn't allowed to have feelings. This is why I am the way I am. See, my therapist said that my relationship was bad already. See, my therapist said that I'm grieving and that I'm mourning. That's why I'm going to go to Sutton and say, I need compassion. Shut up, Erica. You don't need compassion. You need an actual psychiatrist, and you need to go to jail. In my opinion, that's what you need, Erica. So it's, again, it's just the fakeness, it's the phoniness, it's the scripted. Like, I'm sorry. I think that therapist must have been an actor that she hired. If that is a licensed therapist, that is very scary. For side note, for people who actually are in therapy or want to go to therapy, please do not be dismayed by this chick who is on camera with Erica. That's not how a real therapist is. That's not how real therapy goes. So anyone who's in therapy or wants to seek therapy, still do it. Don't be dismayed by this BS that we have on our TV screen, because I honestly wanted to throw up in my mouth. It was disgusting. It was so fake. Again, with Erica and Rinna, and I'm even going to say Dorit in this, they like to use, oh, she said the N-word, so let's exploit minorities. Oh, she said a homophobic slur. Let's exploit the LGBTQIA community. Oh, she's in therapy, so let's exploit people who are, working on their mental health and making sure that everything is good. It's the BS for me, and they always do it to justify their own evilness and their own selfishness and their own BS and their own hypocrisy. It's disgusting. It just is so disgusting on so many different levels. Okay, now let's move on to, okay, so the Pretty Mess hair situation. I know that Sutton and Erica got some Popeye's chicken, kumbaya, yay, next. Okay, so now at the Pretty Mess hair situation, a couple of things. Sheree, I'm gonna need you to shut up and sit down and go away. Nobody asked you, Sheree. So, did you catch? But okay, you know what? Let me take that back. Thank you, Sheree, because you're exposing the fakes. You're exposing the fakes. Okay. Now listen. Sheree, we already don't rock with you. But actually, thank you for exposing the fakes. Did you guys catch my beautiful, smart, critical thinking candy canes? Did you guys catch Lisa Rinna's reaction to what Sheree was saying about Kathy? So we all know that Sheree is a pick-me. We all know that Sheree is all up those girls' butts. We all know that Sheree has no loyalty to anyone. So when Sheree chimed in and was like, yeah, I saw Kathy Hilton in Aspen when I got to the hat shop, and she was shaking, and she was so upset, and it was horrible, and she was blah, 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 blah. Completely jumping in, trying to throw Kathy under the bus, this, that, and the third. She wasn't even there to know what went down. Did you see how Lisa Rinna almost for a second let it slip that she was actually like surprised? Because it was almost like, wait a minute, I didn't brief you on the BS narrative. Wait a minute, you're not a part of our inner circle. I didn't tell you the lie you're not in on this smear campaign. Did you see how Lisa Rinna almost looked confused and excited when Sheree was bashing Kathy? And that's when I was just like, you know what? This whole situation is nothing but a bunch of BS. This is nothing but a scheme Todd made. Because Lisa Rinna's face, she looked excited. She looked shocked, a little bit confused. Like, wait a minute. Like, you really saw Kathy pop off? Like, wait, this really happened? What? Do you see what I'm saying? And that's when I was just like, Lisa Rinna, girl, you are nothing but a liar. You're nothing but a hypocrite. You really made this up because you were shocked that Sheree, who you clearly did not brief the way you briefed Erica, the way you briefed Diana, the way you briefed Dorit, you didn't brief her on the BS that you guys were trying to do against Kathy. So you were shocked when she actually was saying what you wanted her to say. Oh, Kathy was unhinged. Kathy was shaking. And then you saw Erica in the corner. Oh, yes, Kathy was shaking at the club. Shut up, Erica. And then in the confessional, then Lisa Rinna is like, oh, well, you know, I was shocked. Is that what started this? It started earlier? Did she care that I ordered, you know? And did you catch in the confessional this time? She said Kardashian Jenner tequila to even stick it in more, to even try and act like she's even more connected in case we didn't know that Kris Jenner was Kris Kardashian's daughter. Just in case we didn't know that Kris Jenner was a part of the Kardashian clan, she had to make sure she said it in the confessional, Kardashian Jenner. Shut up, Lisa. Okay. So to me, Sheree, just go. Miss me with all this. You're not loyal. You're not interesting. Yes, Kathy was upset, but context matters in this situation. Kathy was upset because systematically during the whole trip, her sister and her goonies were being disrespectful to her and chipping away at her self-esteem. I'm going to get into that when we talk about what happened with Lisa, Kyle, and Kathy, right? And then to have, you know, Lisa Rinna throw in her face, I'm going to go get somebody else's tequila, and then have your sister laugh and take shots and do whatever and not even have your back. Yeah, I would be pissed too. Yeah, I would be mad too. Yeah, I would be. I don't know if I'd be shaking. I might be shaking something, but you know what I'm saying? So Sheree, shut up. You didn't know the context of the situation. You just wanted to be a pick-me and chime in with Erica and Lisa. That's why you're canceled, Sheree. That's why nobody's checking for you, Sheree. Bye-bye. Next. So, okay. Diana is so creepy on so many different levels. I can't even explain it. the bizarre situation with Elton John calling in and then Diana being creepy and licking her lips and being like, I have so many memories with Elton John, but I can't tell them. Shut up. Ugh, it's disgusting. Knowing what we know now, Diana saying that she's had all these times with these, celebrities or whoever you want to call it. I've never been an Elton John fan. There's been rumors about him. That's for another video. It lands different now. It's just really disgusting. I'm not scared of a cease and desist because you can't send me one because it's alleged, it's a rumor, and it's already out there. With the rumors being out there that she is a sex trafficker, that she, does high-end prostitution, whatever you want to call that. All of that stuff, it lands different when you have this nasty grimace on your face and you're licking your lips talking about the stuff you've done and the times you've had with Elton John and his husband, but you can't talk about it because it's private. Why can't you talk about it? What's so private that you guys were doing? And don't forget, they were saying a lot of these charities, a lot of these philanthropic, endeavors were a lot of fronts for their money laundering and for trafficking the people. She's been accused of sex trafficking and also being a high-end madame. Those are two different things, and she's been accused of both. So to me, it's Elton John. I don't know what you're doing, Ellen. I don't know. I'm not saying that you're a part of it, but it's not looking good, sweetheart. It's not looking good. Diana, again, I don't know why she's there. She brings nothing to the table. Erica wouldn't even let her talk. She kept trying to talk, and Erica kept cutting her off. That was laughable to me. Okay, now listen. Let's get into Lisa Rinna gaslighting. And then I'm going to get into some inconsistencies. And then I'm going to get into the meat of this. Okay? Let's do it. It's the gaslighting for me. Did you guys notice that Lisa Rinna, not once, maybe we'll see it in the next episode, highly doubtful, not once said exactly what Kathy Hilton allegedly said about Kyle in front of Kathy or Kyle? She never not once said what Kathy Hilton allegedly said about the other women in front of the other women or to Kathy herself. It's always been, oh, Kathy said something bad. Kathy said something really bad. Ooh, she said something about you guys too. Only in the confessionals did she have all the smoke. And why is that? Because in the confessionals, it's just her and the producer. There is nobody there to check or verify what she's saying. So if she had said in front of Kathy, you said this about Kyle, Kathy could then say, I never said that. This is what I actually said, right? And again, she's never said it on in front of the other women what she allegedly said. She only said it in the confessional where no one could check her. Where no one could then, and this is the key part, no one could then, until after everything is filmed, because she's in the confessional, after everything goes down, no one could, in real time, then go to Kathy to verify what Lisa Rinna was saying. For example, doesn't seem like she did it in real time, doesn't seem like, and she definitely didn't do it on camera. She did not once go up to Crystal and say, Kathy Hilton said X, Y, and Z about you. You know why? Because then Crystal could then go to Kathy and say, did you say X, Y, and Z about me? And then Kathy could be like, hell no. I said this, and this, but I didn't say that. It allows Lisa Rinna to manipulate and to lie and say whatever she wants in the confessional as if it's truth. But there's no one to verify or check it. It's just her word. And as we all know right now, Lisa Rinna has no word. So just because Lisa Rinna said, Kathy said all these things, does not mean that she did. And she strategically never said it in front of anybody who could then go back to Kathy and verify it. That's why that's why she said she never said, she lied and said that Kathy never said anything about Erica. I don't think she said anything about Erica, but I think she said that because I think Erica is in on it with Rinna. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's the gaslighting for me. This is very, very, it's very dangerous and it's very manipulative. It's very much like, remember in the beginning of this season, when Crystal said Sutton said something quote unquote dark, but she would not say what Sutton said. That is what Lisa Rinna is doing. Oh. And I'm talking about in real time, not in the confessionals, because we know she got in the confessionals and lied through her fake lips. She lied through her lips, and I'm going to get into what I think is actually going on. It's very similar to that. When you say somebody said something really bad about you, oh, what she said was dark. Oh, it was horrible. Oh, it was a meltdown. Oh, she lost her mind. But in real time, into the people's faces, you don't say exactly what it is. Our imaginations will make it 1,000 times worse than what the actual reality of the situation is. So she did it for two reasons. She did it for one, so nobody who had Kathy's back could then go and verify with Kathy what she actually said. We all know Kyle is a coward. And Kyle does not have her sister's back. So I'm not even counting Kyle when I talk about this. I'm talking about Garcelle. I'm talking about Crystal. And I'm talking about Sutton. She also did it so that our imaginations would make it 1,000 times worse. Like what Crystal did with Sutton. Oh, what was the dark thing? What is this dark thing? What did she say? It's so dark. And it turned out she really didn't say anything, right? It's the manipulation. It's the control. It's the gaslighting. Now, let's think about what Lisa Rinna said, and then let's compare it to all of the fake news she has been spreading for the last couple of weeks. And we're going to put on our candy cane critical thinking hats, and we're going to smell the BS out of this situation. Okay? Here we go. Last night's episode, Lisa Rinna, out of her own dirty mouth, literally said the only people who Kathy, didn't read for filth was herself and Garcelle. And I think maybe Erica, but I think it was just like Erica was just sort of like not around or something like that. She didn't see Erica. So Erica's over here in this little gray area. But allegedly, according to Lisa Rinna, Kathy had the smoke for everybody but her and Garcelle. Okay. How does that make sense if, based upon those fake leaked texts, you guys remember those fake leaked texts that Lisa Rinna leaked out to the press and to the bloggers? I'm not talking about the ones between her and Erica. I'm talking about the ones that were like, oh, now I've said it. Kathy is a white supremacist. Kathy uses Garcelle for cover. She's this horrible person. She said the N-word. She went on this homophobic rant, blah, 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 blah. Remember those fake receipts, those fake text messages that she was just basically saying it was one-sided. There wasn't any responses. Okay. Make it make sense. How is it that Lisa Rinna is claiming that Kathy Hilton said the N-word that night? She went on a homophobic rant that night. Kathy Hilton is a white supremacist. Kathy Hilton uses Garcelle for cover. However, when Kathy Hilton is allegedly having a psychotic out-of-body meltdown, the only person who doesn't get any smoke is Black Garcelle. How does that make any type of logical sense? If I am a racist white supremacist and I just got done saying the N-word because somebody wouldn't play Billie Jean, the one person I'm not going to read for filth is the only Black person in our group? Like, what? Like, what? Lisa Rinna, you are the dumbest criminal I've ever met in my life. Like, your schemes don't make sense. Your schemes don't make sense. It's the dumbest thing. Can we, like, how do you reconcile the two, Lisa? So you wanted to say that. I'm laughing because you're so stupid, and I don't like to name call, but I'll do it today because it's sickening to me how you use, Garcelle being black as cover. It's sickening to me how you do all this stuff. So I'm going to call you stupid today because you want to, appropriate black women for your own agenda. I'm going to call you stupid today, Lisa Rinna. Please reconcile to me the two things. Please, please, please. You're looking at Kathy like you need help. You're having a psychotic break. So if someone's having a psychotic break, you think that all filters, all mask, all cover is gone because you're not in your right mind. You're not being manipulative. You're showing us who you really are. Like Erica Jane did. Erica Jane was the one who had the psychotic break in Aspen. Her mask fell, and she showed all of us exactly who she was. She was like, I don't care, legal woes be damned. I don't give a damn about the victims. I don't give a damn about you. I only care about myself, whatever. And she read those women for filth, called them effing idiots or whatever she said about them. That is a psychotic break where you just don't even care anymore, and you're just really going to let it all hang out. But you want to get on our screens and you want to play sending these certain content creators, these alleged leaked DMs to conveniently get out at certain times. You really want me to believe that white supremacist, racist Kathy Hilton was having a psychotic break after saying the N-word, and the only person that she had compassion for in the moment that she's having a mental breakdown is Black Garcelle, who she's allegedly using for cover? Oh my God. Shut up, Lisa Rinna. You're an idiot. All right. Sorry. That is, to me, I was just like, that is the dumbest thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But the reason why she didn't say, the reason why that she said that Kathy did not say anything about Garcelle. First of all, I don't think Kathy said anything that Lisa Rinna said. I think she said some stuff about Kyle. She may have said some general things, but I'm going to get into why I don't think she said what Lisa Rinna said in the confessional. Because remember, no footage works both ways. Having no footage works for, well, we don't know what Kathy said. But also having no footage means we don't know if Lisa Rinna is telling the truth. So no footage actually cuts both ways, because I'm not taking the word of Lisa Rinna that this is what Kathy actually said. No footage cuts both ways. Okay, but the reason why I think that Lisa Rinna, in her stupidity, trying to think that she's going to gaslight a nation and left Garcelle out is because a couple of reasons. One, she knows that out of all the girls in the group, Garcelle would go to Kathy and say, Kathy, what did you say about me? I don't think Sutton has the stones. I don't think Crystal has the stones. I don't think Dorit has the stones. Erica, they left her out of the equation. Diana's off in La La Land with Elton John. So I think the reason why she purposely left Garcelle out is because she knows Garcelle doesn't play that. She knows that Garcelle is the one she cannot stunt on. She knows that Garcelle is the one that is going to ask the questions. She knows that Garcelle and Kathy are genuinely friends. So Garcelle would not feel any type of way going to her friend and being like, hey, Lisa Rinna said you said some stuff about me. What was said? The other women, even though Crystal's close to Kathy, I don't think Crystal would ever question Kathy. And neither would the other women. But Garcelle would, because she's like, this is my friend, even playing field, Kathy, what's up? So Lisa Rinna purposely left Garcelle out of the equation because she didn't want Garcelle to ask questions in real time. Remember, Lisa Rinna wanted to have this whole narrative for months play out if, all of the rumors are true. And everything she's saying Kathy said, she's only said in her confessionals. She has not said on camera directly to the other women or to Kathy. Okay? Now, let's see what else I want to say. All right. Now, let's get more into the nitty-gritty of the situation. Kyle, Lisa Rinna, Kathy's situation talk. Kyle, to me, if I had any shred of compassion for Kyle, it died in this scene. It died. Did you see how her eyes, it was her eyes. To me, Kyle is a bitch. I don't like to call other women names. So to me, it was so disgusting how she treated Kathy, because it was her eyes. When Kathy was crying, she was like whatever, like just being dismissive of her. When Kathy apologized, when Kathy was hugging her and saying that she was proud of her, that mom would be proud of her. When they did the close up, you could see in Kyle's eyes that she was still trying to clown Kathy and act like, well, I don't believe this. Where is this coming from? You saw her eyes still being just very disrespectful and very rude and very dismissive. So it's like, Kyle, you have a breakdown like you're a 6-year-old. Well, why don't my sisters like me? Well, why don't my sisters validate me? I don't know, because we're adults and we get validation from ourselves because we're healthy human beings, but I guess you're not. So you're acting like a 6-year-old and you're having this temper tantrum and you just need everybody to validate you all the time. And then when your sister looks at you and says, I love you, I'm sorry, I'm proud of you, and you still have that nasty, evil look on your face. That to me, when I was just like, you know what, Kyle, what everybody says about you is right. You really are dirty. You really are that nasty, vile person. And that what everybody has been saying on these streets about you, Kyle, is right. And this is what really got me. I don't mean to be too heated, but this really pissed me off. When, after the whole situation, I'm going to get into what was said, but after the whole situation, when Kathy was leaving, and it was so clear that Kathy was still hurt, that Kathy still felt bad. And then Kathy's leaving and she's kind of talking to her, and then she's talking about the flowers. And then Kyle just shuts the door while she's talking. And then did you guys notice she said, F my life? And she said it in this nasty, evil tone. And that's when I was just like, Kyle, what everybody said about you is right. You really are a nasty, nasty, jealous, mean-spirited individual. And that's why everything you're getting from Lisa Rinna is deserved. Because I'm going to tell you this, guys. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Because I believed Kathy when she was apologizing. She seemed really embarrassed. She seemed like she was really humbling herself. And I think she was right. She probably was feeling insecure. We watched systematically how Kyle tore her apart at every time. Oh, your shoes are ugly. You're wearing those slippers. Oh, look at your bag. Oh, you're wearing those camo sweats. They're not going to let you in the club. Blah, 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 blah. There was no moment where Kyle was not picking at her. And I don't care who you're married to. I don't care what your last name is. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. We're all human beings. And so is Kathy Hilton. And just like a human being, you can get to the point where people picking at you and picking at you and picking at you starts to affect you. You do feel a type of way. You do start getting insecure. You're like, wait a minute, I was just on the flight. What's wrong with my slippers? Well, what do you mean? I'm just being comfortable. What's wrong with my bag? Wait, why can't I get a utensil? I'm hungry. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, let's put you in the bunk beds. Kathy Hilton is, for better or for worse, she's still a human being. And for Kyle to sit there and throw a temper tantrum and ask for her feelings to be validated, and then Kathy validates her feelings. She says she's proud of you. You're doing amazing. You're so thoughtful. You're so this, that, and the third. You're a great mom. But then when Kathy wants her feelings validated, Kyle invalidates her and dismisses her and is like, she didn't care. She wasn't feeling like that. That's just an excuse. No, Kyle, you're just an evil, horrible, horrendous individual who needs to get off our screens. And it's really disgusting to watch. And I think I'm so heated about it because they're actually family. They're actually family. Do you know what I mean? And it's just disgusting how Kyle is so disrespectful to her. Like, I don't understand how Kyle had more respect for Lisa Rinna in that moment than she did for her sister. I don't care what BS Lisa Rinna is feeding you in your ear. How did you have more respect for her than you did for your own family? You sat there and let Lisa Rinna disrespect her, call her names, all of this stuff. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. I couldn't handle it. Okay, I'm going to get to I'm going to do why I think Lisa said what she said, Kathy said, and then I'm going to get into what I think the real issue here, what the real conspiracy is here, what the real conspiracy is. Okay. So Lisa Rinna alleged this episode and last, we're going to say a bunch of stuff, right? Alleged that Kathy Hilton is jealous of the Kardashians. That actually, wait, before I do this, let me tell you the word that we're going to use while I break this down. The number one word is projection. Lisa Rinna is projecting how she feels onto Kathy. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Lisa Rinna has said that Kathy Hilton is jealous of the Kardashians. I mean, that's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Absolutely not. Quiet as it's kept, the Kardashian was taking the cues and the tips from the Hiltons. I mean, Paris had her sex tape. Kim had her sex tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be serious. Kim was Paris's closet cleaner, closet stylist, all this stuff before she had her sex tape with Ray J and blew up. That was after Paris had hers. You know, I'm not saying the situation was the same, but they're trying to follow a blueprint, right? You know, Paris was a billionaire first. She went over to overseas. She was doing stuff in Dubai. She was doing stuff in China and all that stuff. And she had all her perfumes and her DJing and this, that, and the third. Then all of a sudden, Kim wanted to be a billionaire. And then all of a sudden, you had Kylie lying to Forbes saying she was a billionaire. And then Forbes had to come out and say that they were mad at them because they lied and inflated their numbers. You also have the situation where I don't care how much money you have. I'm talking about you, Kardashians. There's still cachet. There is still a certain level of credibility. There's still a certain level of I don't know what the word is. Just like cachet, right? There's still a certain level of prestige. There's still a certain level of prestige that money will never buy you. The Hiltons have it. Paris can have her sex tape all day long. The Hiltons still have a level of prestige that their Kardashian Jenners will simply never have. I don't care about the money in the bank account. Luann said it, money can't buy you class. So the fact that you're going to get up here and say that Kathy is jealous of the Kardashians literally makes zero sense. The fact is, quiet as it's kept, Lisa, you're the one who are jealous of both. You're jealous of the Hiltons and you're jealous of the Kardashians. That's why Kris Jenner's name is in your mouth every other second, because you're trying to big up yourself. And the reason why you're so jealous is because you'll never have the money the Kardashians have, and you'll never have the prestige the Hiltons have. So you want what each of them have that you will never have, and you're projecting that because you're too much of a coward, Lisa Rinna, to say, I'm jealous of the Kardashians, I'm jealous of the Hiltons. You want to project that and say that's what Kathy is saying, but that's what you actually feel, and that's what you actually want to say. You're the one allegedly with 4 mortgages on your house. I'm not gonna I don't like to money shame people, and I don't like to count people's money. I'm doing it to Lisa, and I'm going a little bit in on Lisa. I don't like to do it in general, but in particular, I'm doing it with Lisa because of how disgusting she's been. But usually I don't like to do that because I think it's not right, but I'm doing it to Lisa. So you're the one who's jealous, okay? Next person, Dorit. Allegedly, Kathy Hilton said Dorit was stupid, useless, and an idiot. Who does that sound like? It sounds like Lisa Rinna's words, because remember, people always tell on themselves. To me, the word stupid, useless, idiots, everything, all of the word choices that Lisa Rinna is saying Kathy Hilton said sounds like something Lisa Rinna would say. Lisa Rinna would call someone an idiot or stupid or useless and all of those words, right? I don't really see Kathy Hilton using those words. I see if Kathy wanted to read someone for filth, I don't know the exact word she would use, but these words aren't it. I don't see Kathy Hilton calling somebody a useless, idiot, stupid. Again, word of the day, projection. Because none of these girls are really friends. Don't forget that. They have an alliance. They do not have a friendship. So I think that Lisa Rinna thinks Dorit is stupid, useless, and an idiot. And I think that, again, I'm not a doctor, I don't diagnose, but I think that somebody who would be a narcissistic sociopath who is unable to say exactly what they want to say without repercussion, they would use this manipulative, conniving way to say what they want to say without actually saying it. It's very manipulative and it's very disgusting, right? It's like, oh, well, my friend said that you were stupid and useless. Oh, I heard that you were stupid and useless. But what you really mean is, I think you're stupid and useless. It's all projection. Next up. So allegedly, after Kathy Hilton, the white supremacist racist, just happens to skip over Black Garcelle, come on now, is now moving over to Crystal and Sutton. And she's saying that, like, I can't believe I have to be around these peonies or whatever she called them. Why do I have to be around them? I don't like them. They don't bring anything to the show. Why are they here? Blah, 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 blah. You cannot tell me that is not what Lisa Rinna thinks about Crystal and Sutton. I don't like them. Why do I have to be around them? They don't bring anything to the show. Blah, 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 blah. Because Lisa Rinna doesn't like anybody. Again, everything she's saying about these people is what she actually wants to say herself. That's why she said nothing about Erica, because out of all of them, I think that Lisa and Erica have the more semblance of an actual relationship. Again, I think it's convenient. I think it's transactional. But I think out of all of them, Erica and Rinna are more in cahoots than anybody else. So she left Erica out of the equation. She knew she couldn't touch Garcelle because Garcelle's not the one. Garcelle is the only one who actually would have went to Kathy directly. And so she's saying this about Crystal and Sutton. Okay, next up, right? She says, Kathy allegedly said, I have to do everything around here. This is my show. If that is not Lisa Rinna, I don't know what is. Doesn't Lisa Rinna always say, oh, I'm just doing my job. I'm the show villain, blah, 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 blah. I'm here to stir the pot. What would the show be without me? What would the show be without Lisa Rinna? I'm the one here that's going to say it. Everybody has to own it. That is verbatim, pretty much, the narrative that Lisa Rinna puts out about herself. She's the show. She's doing her job. She has to do everything. She has to stir the pot with these people, stir the pot with those people, create these storylines, create these narratives. And then she says, and this is where I really knew it was Lisa Rinna, I have big deals with NBC and blah, 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 right? What deals does Kathy Hilton have with NBC herself? I don't know where Paris in Love streams. I don't know. Was that Hulu? I don't know. But the reason why I say that is because, do you guys remember, and I know you do because my candy canes are so smart and on it, and you're going to connect these dots. Do you guys remember a couple of weeks ago when that whole blind item and the whole rumor came out that Lisa Rinna was supposed to be in that new Peacock, which again is owned by NBC, was supposed to be in that Peacock Christmas special, kind of like the one Kyle was in? It almost, they're basically like those Hallmark like hokey Christmassy stuff, and they were doing it with the Housewives, and allegedly Lisa Rinna was supposed to star in one, but then after everything happened, they fired her and they want to replace her with Garcelle. Now, Lisa Rinna would be saying this prior to the firing, because don't forget, I know it's hard sometimes for the timelines because we're getting things in real time when they have filmed before real time. It's almost, that's why, remember they had to take that week hiatus because they had to catch up to us. Now with social media and the blogs and YouTube and Instagram and everything, it's hard sometimes with timelines because we're getting more information quicker than they can even reveal it on the show because they taped it all the way then, but then everything's being leaked. So she's saying in the confessional, oh, she's going to take down Bravo, NBC. She has all these deals with NBC. But what about the deal that Lisa Rinna allegedly had? Again, was she talking about herself? Was she talking about herself? Projection. Okay. The next step. She said allegedly Kathy was jealous of Kyle. Remember that BS? Because Kyle was more famous than her. Kyle had more money than her. Again, Lisa, are you jealous of Kyle because, quiet as it's kept, you and Kyle kind of had the same means? Kyle didn't start out with money or anything like that. It was really Kim who was making the money for the family. That's a whole nother video about, Kyle's actual money, Mauricio's actual money, where the money really came from. It was Kim was that girl. She was the one in the movies. She was in the TV shows. She was hanging around with the Black Pet. She was buying houses. She was married to a billionaire. Kim was that girl, and Kim was the one bringing in the money. So Kyle, quiet as kept, really didn't start making any money until she got on the show and until Mauricio was doing the shady real estate stuff. Again, I already did a video on that. So is Lisa jealous that Kyle was able to parlay being on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, being able to parlay her, relationship with Mauricio and all this happy families BS into actual money? Because Kyle she does have money now. She doesn't have Hilton money, but she has some money. Kyle's fine. Kyle and Mauricio are fine. We know about all the fraud, allegedly X, Y, and Z, right? But look at Lisa Rinna. Still doing everybody's dirt, still being dirty as they come, and has nothing to show for it. She said on the show tonight she's renting her suits. I don't know why she admitted that. I'm not shaming. There's no shaming in that. Absolutely not. I actually think it's smart. You don't need to spend oodles and numbers money on, even if you have it, on designer if you can rent and then wear it, especially if you're only going to wear something once. So I'm not knocking that. And again, I'm not trying to money shame anybody. I'm just doing it because it's Lisa Rinna, and I'm just giving myself a pass to do it because it's her. But Lisa Rinna, you have nothing to show. Your front of a marriage isn't even a front. You let it slip that Harry is doing him in Canada with who knows who and who knows what. You got rats in your house. You got 4 mortgages. You got fired from QVC. You need this job like you need your next breath. That's why you're fighting so hard to keep your diamond. What do you have to show, Lisa Rinna, for systematically trying to destroy people and families and marriages? You went after Yolanda, Lisa Vanderpump, Vidal Sassoon, Kim Richards, Denise Richards, Kathy Hilton. And I'm sure I missed a lot of other people, Nicolette Sheridan, Julian Phillips. There's so many people's lives who you've tried to destroy, and for what? You still don't have any money, and you still don't have your husband in a happy marriage, allegedly. And your daughters can't stand you either. All you guys have to just Google that. So what do you got? At least Kyle has a front with Mauricio. I still think they dip in and do it. I think it's you do you, I do me. We come together. We have this united front, and we're going to do it. And at least they have the money. So who's really jealous of Kyle? Kathy, who's been happily married with her husband for decades, who is a Hilton, whose daughter is married to a Rothschild, who has oodles and oodles and oodles of money, who has oodles and oodles of access and prestige and influence that you will never have. She's jealous of Kyle? Or are you jealous of Kyle, Lisa? Because quiet as it's kept, for as vile Kyle is, Kyle still has more than you. That's who's really jealous. Also, I know it's Lisa lying in behind all this stuff because of the self-made comments. Again, they are very sloppy with their shenanigans. They're very sloppy with their dirt. I don't know if they think that we're dumb and stupid, but we're not. I'm going to tell you another reason why we know Lisa Rinna is lying and is behind all this stuff. The self-made comments, right? So she's saying, oh, Kathy is jealous of Kyle because Kyle has all the money and fame and she's self-made, right? Remember that buzzword, she's self-made. BS. First of all, Kyle's not self-made. Her mother made her, Kim Richards made her, and then her sister's husband made her because Rick Hilton gave Mauricio his job at Hilton and Highland that he then used to steal clients from him and to start his own agency and to steal other agents. How exactly is that self-made when the only money you had, Kyle, came from your mother and your sister, and the only money your husband had? I don't know if Mauricio's family is rich or not. If they're so rich, then how come he had to get a handout from Rick Hilton? That's another question, right? If Mauricio's family is so loaded, why did he need a favor from Rick Hilton? Why couldn't his parents hook him up? So then you wouldn't be indebted to the Hiltons, since you despise it so much that your sister looked out for you and your family and made sure that you guys had enough money to live your life. If Mauricio's family is so well connected and wealthy, how come his father didn't get him a job? Why did it take Rick getting him a job? So Mauricio and Kyle are not self-made any way you slice it. But remember, Lisa Rinna said self-made, right? Who else recently used the word self-made? I know you know, my beautiful candy canes. Teddi Mellencamp, right? Remember, Teddi Mellencamp a couple days ago went on her boring podcast with Tamra Judge, 2 peas in a pod, and she used the exact same word. She said, oh, Kathy Hilton is jealous of Kyle because Kyle has money, she has fame, and because Kyle's self-made. And she didn't marry into it or whatever she said. She said the same exact thing Lisa Rinna said in her confessional. So why is Teddi saying the same exact thing now that Lisa Rinna said in her confessional whenever she filmed her confessional? Because they're all in on it. They're all in on it. And Teddi just parrots out whatever Rinna and whatever Kyle tells her to. Now that Lisa Rinna and Kyle are on the outs, I wonder where Teddi will land. And my gut, I think she'll still be up Kyle's butt and up Tamara's butt. But apparently she's also been, the mouthpiece for Lisa Rinna too. I don't think it's a coincidence. Because remember, you guys, we're the Candy Cane gang. And we don't believe in coincidence. We only believe in conspiracy. Oh, thank you, Marcella. Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge the super chat real quick. Thank you, Marcella. She goes, Rinna is toxic. Kathy has way more money than all of them. Messing with Kathy in LA will ruin her and reveal her husband's secrets. Love Sutton and Garcelle. Sutton is super wealthy too. Facts. Exactly. Thank you so much for the super chat, Marcella. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Whew, you guys, and no lies detected, 100% the truth. Okay, now, again, why is Teddi using the same exact buzzwords? Because she got her script from Rinna, which probably at the time was co-signed by Kyle. Maybe not. But because I want to get into the whole, now that we have our whole projection conspiracy theory, because again, no footage, I said it before, no footage cuts both ways. No footage means we can't see what Kathy actually said, and we can't see if Lisa Rinna is telling the truth. So just because Lisa Rinna said Kathy said this, doesn't mean she actually did. I don't think Kathy said this. I think Kathy went on a rant. I think she probably did. This is what I think. I think Kathy said something along the lines of, I made Kyle. I can take Kyle down. Mauricio was a jerk for what Mauricio did. Blah, 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 blah. Kyle would be nothing without us. Da, 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 da. maybe some stuff along those lines I can see, but the rest of this BS, miss me. Miss me with the rest of this BS. It doesn't track because we're not stupid. People talk the way they talk. People have a certain way of speaking. People have certain idioms they use, certain phrases. Every single thing that Lisa Rinna said sounds like something Lisa Rinna would say, not the way Kathy Hilton actually speaks or talks. Okay? There's that. Now, I'm going to get into what I think is really going on. Thank you again, Marcella, for that super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. Now I'm going to get into what I think is actually going on. Now that we've laid the foundation, I'm going to get into what I think is really going on. I think at the core of it, why all of this has happened. Oh, thank you. Somebody just sent me, because I want to say thank you while I see him. Thank you so much, Natalia. Thank you for the super chat. She goes, I think Garcelle would be friends with Erica if she acknowledged the victims because they both can bond on not knowing about their husband's secret life. Oh, damn. Not that, Natalia? Well, this is the thing. That is true. And you know what? We can do a video on that. That is true. Garcelle's ex-husband, who is like a big, wait, you guys, I'm going to shut this door because it just got really quiet. I'm coming. I mean, really loud. Okay, I'm back. All right, so, but this is true because Garcelle's ex-husband, he's a big, powerful, I'm not sure if he's still an agent. I think he is. But in LA, there are like 4 really top agencies and they rule the world. And he's a big agent at them. And he was cheating on her and she went all the way off on him. I mean, all the way off. So you're right about that. And we can do a video on that too. Okay, I want to say thank you to these other super chats. Okay. Hey, Sour Girl. Hey, so I was just listening as I get ready for work. Really enjoying your coverage. Glad I caught you live. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And enjoy work. You know what I mean? Enjoy work. Have a fun kiki with us. And we are going to get into it. Sour Girl, thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you, all my candy canes. I love you. Okay, now let's get into the core. And I haven't heard anybody else say this. So I want to know what you guys think, and I want you guys to let me know if you agree, if you would disagree, and follow me with it, because I haven't heard anybody think this, but I had a couple of aha moments. I think at the core is Lisa Rinna wanting to get rid of Kyle on the show, because I think that Lisa Rinna has always wanted to be the HBIC in Beverly Hills. As we know, Andy, with his shady self, has come out and said, you know, Lisa Rinna was trying to get on the show for years. She had all these audition tapes and he rejected her a couple of times and was just like, I just don't think she's a fit. I just don't think she's right, blah, 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 blah. So Lisa Rinna has been hungry to be on this show. She's had past reality shows fail. I think she had Harry Loves Lisa or something like that. That reality show was a flop. And she's had all these sort of like starts and stops. You know, she was in the soaps, but her acting career never really, you know, it kind of failed to really launch. Unlike Eileen, unlike Denise Richards, they're still working actors. Unlike Garcelle, she's still a working actor and a host and all that stuff. Lisa's Rinna life has kind of been sort of these false starts. And she hasn't really gotten there yet. Even though she's been wilding out on Beverly Hills, she's still not a fan favorite. She's still not making the most money. And she's still not the HBIC. I think she really wanted Kyle gone. And I think that is really the core of it. She either wanted Kyle demoted or just off the show so she could finally step into that HBIC spot. Because we all know Erica is completely tarnished, is a wackadoodle over in the corner, popping pills and drinking alcohol and acting like she still has any type of credibility in the world when she doesn't. So I really think that she wanted to take Kyle down and to take Kyle out. And I think the way she thought she could do it was to go after Kathy. Because think about the past, right? Because the past will always, what's the word I'm looking for? The past will always inform the future or inform the present. So in the past, she was threatened by LVP. What did she do? Lucy Apple Goosey. She lied. In my opinion, I think she was the one who planted that story. And then she systematically went to Dorit, went to Yolanda, went to Kyle, blah, 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 and manipulated all of them who were willing participants. Did she manipulate them? Yes, but they were willingly but they were also ready because they were also evil and jealous, fake and phony chicks and frauds just as much. So she wanted to take LVP out. When she saw that Kim was on the show, and Kim was kind of that girl. She was kooky and fun. She wanted to take Kim out. When Denise got on the show, she saw that Denise could have very quickly been a fan favorite, but she sort of stopped Denise from really blossoming, I think, on the show. I think Denise could have done really well on the show. But Rinna made sure to sabotage that with the whole Brandy thing. So we never even really got to see the full Denise on the show because of her jealousy, right? And again, I think that Lisa Rinna, in her mind, thinks she should be the HBIC. She thinks, I'm the one that brings the drama. I'm the one that stirs the pot. I'm the one that brings it up. I'm the one that owns it. I'm the villain, blah, 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 blah. Basically, everything she said in that confessional that she's saying Kathy said, I think that's what she says and thinks. And also the reason why I think, but let me tell you the structure that I think. I think that at the core, it's Lisa Rinna wanting Kyle gone. I think that she probably enlisted maybe in Erica, maybe tangentially Dorit. I don't know if Dorit 100% understood the assignment, but Dorit in some way, shape, or form was probably informed, maybe not 100%. Because Dorit does have some moments where I'm like, oh, maybe she doesn't understand what the actual assignment is, right? It's almost like Lisa's mission was to get Kyle gone, but then she had these other little tiny things in order to get it done. I think she probably enlisted Erica, maybe a little bit of Dorit. Now, the red herrings and the other people she got involved who didn't actually understand the core of it, like a Diana. You know what I'm saying? I think Diana just is just a pawn. They're like, Diana's stupid. She's a pick-me. She has money. She follows us. We can just use her as a pawn. I don't think Diana had the wherewithal to actually understand that there was a bigger game going on. There was a bigger game going on. And I think that Kyle was in on, and this is why I said before, Kyle got what she deserves, and Kyle is getting what she deserves when beautiful Darren was like, oh, Kyle and Lisa had this big fight at the reunion and all this stuff, because this is the role I think Kyle played, and she played herself at the end of the day. I do think Kyle was in on some form of Kathy Hilton takedown. But I don't think Kyle realized that the person they actually were trying to take down was her. Because remember, like I always said, the faux Fox 5 or the faux Fox 4, whatever you want to call it, was only ever Rinna, Erica, and Dorit. They would use Kyle because Kyle was the OG. Kyle was was to help create the Beverly Hills franchise. Kyle had clout with Andy, and Kyle could give them cover. So they would use Kyle. They would use Diana. They would use Teddy. But they never really rocked with Kyle. They never really let Kyle in on what the real situation, what the real dirt was, right? It went Lisa Rinna, Erica, and then at times Dorit. That's why Dorit quickly falls in line whenever Erica checks her. Dorit falls in line like that because she knows the deal. But I don't think they ever really accepted Kyle into what they were doing. I think Kyle took the bait because, as we know, Kyle has, for whatever reason, this jealousy, this hateful spirit when it comes to her own sisters. We saw her do it to Kim, and we're seeing her doing it to Kathy. So I do think Kyle was in on some form of Kathy Hilton takedown, but she wasn't smart enough. She didn't have a candy cane critical thinking hat to see the bigger picture. She didn't realize that the real target was her. And they told on themselves throughout this entire season. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of how they did, because they were playing in our face the entire time. Thank you so much, Carla's Career Shortcuts and Coaching. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to tell you how they told on themselves throughout this entire season. Remember when Erica and Dorit were at the chocolate place, and because I remember being like, this doesn't make sense. Remember when they were at the chocolate place and they were saying, oh, Dorit was like, well, Kyle is like pitting me against you. Like, she's making me choose and blah, 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 blah. And I can't believe she put me in the middle of this and da-da-da-da. And Erica's like, yeah, I know, like, blah, 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 blah. If Kyle wants to bring stuff up, or if Kyle wants to, go after me for the earrings, then we're going to have to talk about everything, right? So yeah, so now we're going to have to talk about Kathy. And I was like, that makes no sense. If you're sitting there bitching about Kyle, wanting to go after Kyle, then how come in your next breath you say we're going to have to talk about Kathy? And then it made me remember all the other times when Kyle would say, oh, if this comes out about Kathy, I'm going to be the one that's actually hurt. You're actually really hurting me. And they said that a few times over the last couple of episodes. If we talk about Kathy, it's really going to hurt Kyle. If we bring up Kathy, it's really the person who's going to hurt is going to be Kyle. And then we saw the preview at the end of this episode where they're all at the dinner in the finale. And Kyle's like, you're hurt, like the Kathy stuff, like this is hurting me, like you're hurting me. And then Erica is a jerk and is like, no, your sister hurt you. And then Rinna's like, yeah, it was your sister. And it's like, no, it wasn't. It's you guys. You guys are doing this. And then it dawned on me, oh, the reason why they're using Kathy to go after Kyle is because they cannot have another mean girl gang up on one person. They also cannot have Kyle be hip to the fact that she's actually the one with the target on her back. Number one, when they went after Yolanda, and it was all after her, they got a lot of backlash. When they went after LVP, that was a lot of backlash. Hashtag Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Mean Girls hashtag was formed. They got huge backlash over that. They got a lot of backlash when they went after Denise. The only reason why they didn't get more backlash was because Brandy was involved with this hookup story, blah, 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 blah. That kind of muddied the waters, but they were still mean girls when they did it. So they knew that they cannot be mean girls and gang up on one person again. Sure, they do it to Sutton, Erica, blah, blah, blah. But it's very, very different. Oh, actually, no. Oh, thank you, memory. Actually, no. Hold on. Let me thank Victoria. Thank you so much, Victoria, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my beautiful candy cane. Actually, memory, thank you, memory. Okay, this is going to really substantiate what I'm saying. Okay, so remember how they can't be mean girl anymore because Bravo got a lot of backlash, Beverly Hills got a lot of backlash for the mean girl ganging up on one person, how they've done it time and time again. Remember when they took that hiatus, that week hiatus to re-edit everything? This is proving my point because again, I really believe that the scene in Kyle's car between Kyle and Dorit, when their hair, I talked about it earlier, looked exactly the same as the night before. But again, as women or as men, you know damn well when you get your hair professionally done the night before at a party, it doesn't wake up the same. And they were going nowhere, coming from nowhere. They were just in the car to be in the car. That didn't make any sense, right? But what were they talking about? Oh, I don't want Sutton to feel like we're all ganging up on her. Oh, Lisa Rinna's been so angry and it seems to be going just after Sutton. Well, we need to make sure Sutton doesn't feel like we're all ganging up on her. Why? Because they cannot again have another hashtag Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Mean Girls situation. So they made sure to go back and shoot that scene because it was so bad when Erica and Lisa Rinna was going after Sutton. Lisa Rinna telling Sutton to get the F out of her house. Erica, we already know how much she goes after Sutton. And then all the other girls kind of laughing with the whole calling Sutton to see you next Tuesday. Diana said it, Erica said it, and the other girls were laughing. So they created that whole scene to sort of diffuse the appearance that it was another Mean Girls of Beverly Hills gang up on one person. So they couldn't just go after Kyle to get her off the show. Number one, it would be too obvious, and they don't want Kyle to like get hip to it because again, we may not like Kyle, but she's an OG. It was, the beginning of the Beverly Hills was supposed to be around her and her sisters. She's in tight with Bravo. She's in tight with Andy. It would not look good. It would not look good. And also, they would not be able to manipulate her. And when I say manipulate her, I'm not absolving her of anything. Sure, you got manipulated, but you were a willing participant. So if Kyle actually knew that the target was on her back, because Lisa Rinna wants to be the one to, as Lisa Vanderpump said, wear the crown, they would not have been able to manipulate her and use her the way they did this entire season. They use Kyle because she's not the brightest bulb in the shed, the chandelier. I don't know. She's not the brightest bulb. Anyway, so she's so easily manipulated. They used her against LVP. They used her against Yolanda. They used her against Denise. They used her against her own sister, Kim. They used her against Kathy this whole season. She's sitting up there defending Lisa Rinna while Lisa Rinna is saying horrible things to her own sister. And then she has the audacity to show Kathy the door and say, F my life? Yeah, F your life because the people... And then... Now, maybe Kyle actually is realizing what the real mission was. The mission was not to get rid of Kathy. The mission was to get rid of Kyle. And she's finally, ding, 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 it's finally clicking in her head. Because Dorit, Rinna, Erica, and Kyle have all said throughout this entire season, if it's bad for Kathy, it's actually really bad for Kyle. I think that's why they went after Kathy, because they thought if we take Kathy out, if we have something go bad, we'll be able to knock Kyle out of her spot. The same way they tried to pin Garcelle versus Sutton. Remember when they were like, oh, Garcelle, Sutton's a liability for you because you're friends with her? They were trying to divide and conquer when it came to Garcelle and Sutton. But they didn't fall for the okie doke because they're actually friends and they see through their BS. I think the way that they were trying to take Kyle down was through Kathy. And I think that's another reason why you guys are going to remember this. This week, in fact, Kyle was posting, oh, it's not that I have social anxiety. It's that I surround myself by toxic people. Be careful who you let in your inner circle. Duh, because you let the snake in your own house. You let Dorit in your own bed. Allegedly. You let Lisa Rinna in your own house. And she's wreaking havoc. Because Kyle, you thought the okie doke was, we're going to take jabs at Kathy. We're going to take Kathy down a peg or two. But the truth was they were gunning for your spot the entire time. Because like Lisa Rinna has always said, she is the one, she's the show. She does the most. She's the pot stirrer. She's the villain. Like, what would Real Housewives of Beverly Hills be without her, without Lisa Rinna? She's the one who brings the drama, right? Didn't she call herself the LeBron James of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? So a woman with the audacity to call herself the LeBron James, you think she doesn't think she deserves to be the HBIC, and you don't think that at all these years she systematically tried to take down anybody that she saw as a threat, and it just happened that this year was your year, Kyle? Your name came up this year? Because to be honest, Kathy Hilton is coming out of this like a freaking star, okay? I liked Kathy Hilton before, but I love her now. I was on the fence about you, Kyle, but you really are vile. You really showed us really who you are. Really who you are. But the gag is Garcelle dethroned Alia. That is the gag. The gag is Garcelle was actually the sniper from the side because she came in with authenticity. She came in with a point of view. She came in actually wanting to be genuine. She has real friendships. She shows up as herself. She doesn't need to manipulate and lie and fake things out. She's just interesting as herself. And that's why Garcelle is actually the one holding the crown, baby. Garcelle is the HBIC in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And that's why you can't come for her. And you're mad about it, Lisa. Oof, you're angry. You're angry. That's why you were on Twitter talking about, if I go for Garcelle, you guys are going to call me racist. Because you knew Garcelle was coming for that head HIB diamond spot, right? You knew she was coming for it. And you were pissed because you didn't know how to come after her without being a racist. But that says more about you than it does about our interpretation of you. If you as a white woman does not know how to check a black woman without being racist, the problem is you. That's why it works in Dubai. Carolyn Stanberry will check Chanel Ayan all day long. But I don't think Caroline Stanberry comes across as racist at all. And Caroline Stanberry is the whitest of the white women. She's in Britain, you know, she's British. But I don't think Caroline Stanberry is racist at all. And she will go toe to toe and she will check black girls. So the problem isn't our interpretation when a white person checks a black person. The problem is you, Lisa Rinna. We don't interpret you as racist. Maybe you are. Okay? So don't equate the two. Because at the end of the day, one woman checking another woman on these shows, it really has nothing to do with race until you make it about race. Garcelle even said it at the reunion. You were like, I don't want us to talk about race. It's not that type of show. This is the thing. It is that type of show when you have a black woman and an Asian woman and white women on it, because that is a part that's inherently a part of who we are. But you can have Crystal checking Erica. It's not race. You have Erica who called Crystal an a-hole. Nobody said Erica was being racist against Crystal, and Crystal's Asian. Racism never came into the equation. But it comes into it with you, Lisa, because of you. So miss me with all that. And that's the biggest gag. You were so busy lying and hating on Kathy. You were so busy using Erica and probably quiet as it's kept Dorit, trying to get Kyle out the picture, that you paved the way for Garcelle to just snatch the crown. She snatched it. That's why her son is on Vanderpump Rules. That's why Garcelle was filming with LVP, because a queen recognizes another queen and they help each other carry the crowns. They don't try to snatch each other's crowns. They glow up together because LVP has the crown no matter what, and so does Garcelle. That's why they're kikiing. That's why they're filming together. That's why LVP gave her son a job. Because a queen recognizes a queen, but snakes recognize snakes. And that's why all of you, Dorit, Kyle, Erica, Rinna, all of you ratty, snaky, evil women, that's why you're all crabs in a barrel going against each other. While Garcella's out here shining, living her best life. Getting Julia Roberts to be like, oh, I want to set you up. But we're getting Jennifer Aniston calling Erica evil. Okay? I mean, Jennifer Lawrence calling Erica evil. Okay? So while all of you guys were having fake narratives and lying on people, hiring bots, paying off bloggers and content creators to leak your fake receipts, Garcelle showed up as she was and snatched the crown. And she ain't giving it back. She pretty much already said, I'm coming back and what? And the way she shut Dorit all the way down on Watch What Happens Live, I'm ready for Garcelle. And it's for her. And quiet as kept, Kyle's not going anywhere because it didn't work. It didn't work. Because the sad part is we already knew Kyle was vile. We already had Goodbye Kyle. So unfortunately, because it shouldn't be that way, we're a little desensitized to Kyle because Kyle's always been shady as hell. It went to a whole different level of shadiness because it's even more exposed. But we always knew who this was. She didn't protect her sister Kim. So of course she's not going to protect her sister Kathy. But now it's exposed on a whole new level. And it's so funny because the gag is Kyle. While you thought you and your fake friends were going to take down your sister, they were plotting and planning to take you down the entire time. And they told us this entire season. I don't know why it took me so long to realize it. They were doing it the entire season. That's why they kept saying, oh, if we talk about Kathy, well, it's really going to hurt Kyle. And then Kyle said it herself. This is hurting me. Because not only does it cause a rift between the family dynamics with Kyle and Kathy and Kim and everything, but the gross things that they were saying, oh, she's going after NBC, she's going after Bravo. They tried to get her canceled with the N-word, the homophobic stuff. Now all of a sudden it's murkying the waters. Now that we're in 2022, cancel culture XYZ, now that's murking the waters, having Kyle on with Kathy. If Kathy is out here saying all this stuff, obviously, I think that's a lie. I don't think she's said any of that. And I don't think Kathy's racist. I don't think she's said anything homophobic. And I don't think she's a white supremacist. I think all that BS was just Lisa Rinna doing everything she thought she could do to take Kathy down. And then by default, she would take Kyle with her. And I think Kyle is finally figuring out she got played. But the only reason why they were able to play the hell out of you, Kyle, was because you were evil enough to turn your back on your own sister. If you had never agreed to go after Kathy, because you're not going to sit here and tell me that these women did not get together and make a plan to try and go after Kathy Hilton. It's just there's no one in the world that can tell me that. They did. They got together. If you would not have agreed to take down your sister, you would not be in this situation you're in right now. You would have been shining as much as Kyle can shine. We all know she's problematic in other ways. But look how Crystal overnight, we were checking for Crystal. Oh, wait, Crystal's checking Erica. Oh, wait, Crystal's team Kathy. Oh, wait, Crystal's with Garcelle and Sutton. Okay, Crystal went from Crystal who? Like Crystal went from just sort of being there and Quiet just kept low-key annoying. Crystal was very annoying at times to like, okay, we get it. You have the diamond. Let's see what Crystal can do. We can roll with you. The crazy part is this season could have been your redemption, Kyle, for how you turned your back on LVP, for how you turned your back on Kim. This could have been your redemption season where you were like, no, not on my watch. You're not coming from my blood. You're not coming from my sister. But instead, you chose to turn your back. And the gag is they were gunning for you the entire time. I think that's what this whole bullshit, Aspen, racist, homophobic. She said this, da, 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 da. I think this whole season has been about Lisa trying to take Kyle out. That's why none of it makes sense. That's why they're lying. That's why they're grasping for straws. That's why nobody has a straight story. That's why they keep clowning Kyle but going after Kathy. None of it makes sense. Woof. But they played you. They played the hell out of you, Kyle. They played the hell out of you. Because think about it. Everybody now, Kyle's horrible. You know, Kathy slams Kyle. Paris Hilton is coming after Kyle. Nikki Hilton is coming after Kyle. We, the collective, are coming after Kyle. Even Andy wasn't really checking for Kyle the way he used to check for Kyle. Even Andy. Kyle, they played you. They played the hell out of you. They never wanted Kathy. Because to be honest, are they jealous of Kathy? 100%. But Kathy isn't really a threat to them. Kathy pops in, pops out. She's not a full-time diamond holder. She doesn't want to be. She doesn't need to be. She does what she does. She comes in. She's hunky-dory. She's laughing. She can't see anything. She's making up words. And it's Kathy, and we love her. And we love her. Kathy's amazing, and she's great. But she wasn't a diamond holder. She wasn't on that level. You know what I'm saying? Even though she's amazing and wonderful and a fan favorite, and I love her. But it's very different to take out Kathy versus taking out Kyle. Now when I sit back and look at the whole picture. Because a lot of the stuff just really wasn't making sense. And I kept going back to, why do they keep saying bad things about Kyle, but then the next thing they say is, well, then we're going to have to talk about Kathy. And then I was like, that's why. Because they want to take Kyle down. And the way that they're going to do it is through Kathy. Because they can't mean girl her. And they still want to be able to manipulate her. So we're not going to go directly for her. We're going to go by proxy through Kathy. All right, you guys, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. If I missed your comment, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to go up a little bit and then just start there. So if I missed any comments, I'm sorry. And I love you guys. I'm just going to start. Here. Okay. Hey, Natalia, she was exactly Carla, because if it was the other girl, she would have called them. I don't even know what the chat box is saying now. I don't even know. I went on a tangent for so much. Okay, let's do this. I was like, I don't know. Hey, Janet, let's not forget Kyle got pregnant to catch him, Kyle's first wealthy husband, but got pregnant, married, started seeing Mauricio and filed for divorce all in 12 months. Kyle did have some BS. Yes. I mean, and like I reported on, Kyle was out here talking about, oh, if you cheat, you get a free pass. If you cheat once, you just don't tell them, blah, 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 blah. Girl, bye. Hey, tweet 10100 Teddy. Ugh, bore fest. She is. Teddy is so boring, and she's nothing but a mouthpiece. Okay. Hey, Janet. Janet says, Camille called Kyle's ass out, and I loved it. Exactly. Yes, Camille did call her out and shaded her for filth. But we've seen it, and to me, it's so clear now what the whole real agenda was. The real core agenda was to take Kyle out. It was to take Kyle out. Because again, I think Lisa thinks Kyle doesn't do anything. She's sort of there. She's trying to produce, but she doesn't really show up. Hey, Double T, when Kathy apologized and then explained that she feels like her teasing her about her style is hurtful, Kyle's response was terrible. Exactly. It was so dehumanizing. It's like, Kyle, you want to sit here and cry and have a temper tantrum like you're 4 years old. Oh, please pay attention to me, sister. And then when your sister validates you, but then she turns around and says, hey, you know what? When you guys are picking on me, it made me feel insecure. It was hurtful. Then to completely dismiss her, Kyle, bye. And then remember in the confessional, she was like, yeah, sometimes I do ignore her and I don't call her back. So which is it, Kyle? Are you the sister that actually ignores her and you're actually not validating her, but yet you always want to play the victim like you don't know why your sisters don't like you? Your sisters don't like you because of you. Hey, Natalia, Lisa would have thrown a glass at my sister. We would have destroyed that restaurant. Bloop. Point blank, period. And what did Kyle do? And then she ran out. This is the thing. I'm not a violent person, but Natalia, listen, I'm with you. You break a glass wine and you have a shard of glass in your hand, and then you're going to act like you're going to strangle my sister on my watch in my presence. You got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. I will learn. I will learn on the spot how to do something. But Hey, Black Sheep Rise, makes sense. Hey, Carla's career. Yes, at Foxy. Yeah, she's not the blonde bombshells they were back in the day, and she's still mad about it from 1992. Talk about Kyle. Hey, Tweet 10100. Everyone loses their crap every once in a while. Exactly. I have let Jenny out of the bottle before, but I don't think it was as intense as Rinna said. Exactly. I don't think it was as intense as Lisa Rinna is trying to make it out to be. 100%. Hey, Eileen. She was at Natalia. That scene was so disturbing. Only Brandy stood up for Kim. That part. Grinna should have been fired on the spot. Exactly. You know, I'm not going to get into it. I can save this for another video, but it's Bravo's hypocrisy for me. When certain people are violent, it becomes iconic, right? And then when other people are violent, it's Bravo doesn't condone violence and blah, 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 blah. I should do a whole video on that because there was even some other shows. I don't know if you guys watch Southern Charm. That's a show I watch, but I keep it to myself. But the boys were fighting. They were fighting. And just to give context, they are very preppy, very well-off white Southern men, and they're fighting. Did Bravo issue a statement to the world, we don't condone violence? Did Bravo put out a whole, campaign? Did Bravo say that these men then needed to go to therapy or anger management or rehab since one of them was blackout drunk? No. But when certain people are violent, then all of a sudden it's a big commentary. I'm just going to leave that there. We don't need to get into it with this video. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay. Darren Hood, Garcelle knows the assignment. Everyone is liking the route she's taken instead of lashing out. This is the thing. Garcelle actually has something to lose. That's why LVP and Garcelle are on that level. LVP has her restaurants. LVP is like a candy. She has her spinoffs, Vanderpump Rules, Pump Dogs, X, Y, and Z. Lisa Vanderpump had something to lose, right? That's why she was like, let me get out of this. Let me go do my thing. Garcelle has something to lose. Garcelle has prestige. Garcelle is that chick. She had The Real. She's an actress. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She has other opportunities. She wants to produce. She's hanging out with Julia Roberts and all these other people. Her ex-husband is a powerful agent here in Hollywood. Garcelle has things to lose. So when you actually are a queen and you actually have a queendom, you don't act like the court gesture and all the foolery like Kyle and Lisa and Erica and Dorit, who have nothing to lose because this is all they have. What do any of them truly have outside of this situation? Jail time? Allegedly? Let's see. Hey, Grace, she's smiling, says, Eileen. Hey, Janet, Kyle is behind all of this between Kathy and Rinna because Kyle thinks she's the queen. That's exactly. Kyle thought she was getting a one-up on Kathy through Rinna. But the gag is Rinna the whole time was playing Kyle because she wanted Kyle gone. Kyle was just too dumb to see it. But I bet you she sees it now. I bet you she sees it now. I don't think Kyle is beefing with Lisa Rinna at the reunion. I don't think Kyle is beefing with Lisa Rinna now. I don't think Kyle is beefing with Lisa Rinna through the subliminals on her Instagram because she is so pissed for Lisa Rinna going after her sister. I think Kyle is doing all of that. I think Kyle is beefing with Lisa Rinna because she finally realized Lisa was coming for her. That is why Kyle is now jumping ship. That is why Kyle is now looking at Dorit crazy, looking at Erica crazy, looking at Lisa Rinna crazy, because Kyle now sees, oh, it was never about my sister. You were coming for me. And they made that clear. And now when I sit back and look, they kept saying it. They kept saying it. Oh, Kyle, blah, 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 blah. We have to talk about Kathy. Oh, Kyle, blah, 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 blah. We have to talk about Kathy. Kyle, they played you. They played the dog snot out of you. But you only made yourself vulnerable to be played because you were trying to you thought you were getting one up on your sister. You thought you and Rinna were playing Kathy when Rinna was playing you. Hey, tweet, Dorit doesn't ride the fence. She straddles it and she needs a tetanus shot. Hey, Miss D, Kathy should have never apologized, especially for something done off camera. I hear you. Like, this is the thing. I'm okay with Kathy saying, hey, I popped off. I said some stuff. I'm sorry. Because that's like what a grown person does. Listen, I got pissed. I popped off. I said some stuff and I'm sorry, right? But I wish that Kyle didn't just take whatever Lisa was saying as if it were the truth without actually having a real conversation with her sister. Hey, Darren, Garcelle knows the assignment. Yes, that's right. Hey, Janet. Darren Hood 100%. Okay, let me see. Hey, Teresa Ernst, she goes, I think Kyle cried when she realized Dorit wasn't on her side exactly as being the queen of the show. Exactly. I think this is the time. I think its time is going on. She's rewatching her own behavior on the show and seeing it all now. Exactly. That's why Kyle lost her damn mind. You want to talk about someone who had a meltdown? The people who had meltdowns in Aspen was Kyle and Erica. Kyle had a meltdown because her boo-boo the fool, Dorit, didn't come to her hat shop. Wow. She was crying because she realized, oh, Dorit doesn't really ride with me the way I thought she would ride with me. Oh, I thought Dorit would be on my side no matter what. Oh, I thought Dorit would be with me. But Dorit was like, I don't know you, boo-boo. Dorit looked at her and said, and to me, I would never be friends with somebody who did this to me. If I'm standing in front of you and I'm crying and I'm upset and you look me in my face and you say, people that I'm paraphrasing this. She said, people who I care about or people who are my friends, when I see them crying and in distress, I have to comfort them. I have to go with them and be with them because she was talking about Erica. But yet I'm supposed to be your friend and I'm sitting here in your face crying and in distress, but you have no compassion for me. You're not on my side at all until my husband comes over and checks you. And then when my husband comes over and checks you, then you want to hug me and fall in line because my husband checked you? Because your boyfriend told you to pipe down, quiet as it's kept, allegedly? And I 100%, I think Kyle was slowly realizing the gag. And the gag was on her. Because I told you, they never check for Kyle. None of them did. Hey, Janet, Kyle wants Kathy to quit the show. I can't stand Kyle. She's the ringleader of the mean group. I think Kyle thought she was. I think I agree with you 100%. I think Kaya wanted Kathy off the show. She didn't want to share the limelight. She thought she had Rinna and Dorit and Erica in her pocket to help her do the dirty work. But then at the end of the day, it was really Rinna running the show, trying to get Kyle out. Hey, Eileen says, hey, Grace. Hey, guys. Hey, SC girl. Once again, Erica hitches her wagon to the wrong person. Bloop. That part. Hey, Carla's Corner. She goes, at Teresa, you're on point. Hey, Satin Boutique, love you from South Africa. Oh, yay! I love you too. I love you too. That's right, you guys. If you're having fun, be sure to like this video. Get the likes up. It really, really helps me. It helps me to grow. It helps to expand our Candy Cane community and to get the video out there. Yes. Hey, LaBetha Bartholomew. I hope it's LaBetha. I hope I pronounced it correctly. It's beautiful either way. She goes, hello, Rinna needs to stay out of it. Kyle needs to support her sisters. That part. Because again, it's not tracking. It doesn't make sense. Why does Rinna have such a hard on for what Kathy said about other people? Not about her. Because again, out of her own wackadoodle lips, she said, Kathy didn't say anything about me or Garcelle. And then Erica was kind of just over here. But allegedly everybody else got read for filth. Why do you have PTSD about what somebody said about somebody else? Or are you lying and making it up because you want something? Hey, Darren Hood. Exactly, Candy. Thank you, sweetheart. Hey, Janet. South Africa is beautiful. Yes. Hey, Miss T. They all have stuff to lose. Garcelle just fights differently. They wanted to stereotype her, and it did not work. Exactly. Exactly. Janet says, that's why I love Garcelle. Me too. Hey, Grace. Right, Carla? Hey, Labitha. She goes, hi, South Africa. I live near Cape Town. I love it. Oh, beautiful. Hey, Foxy goes, yep, they tried it with Garcelle, but failed hard. They really did. Because that's the thing. While they were fighting amongst themselves, Garcelle just walked over and snatched the crown. She was like, I'm going to go over here and be with LVP. I'm going to still have my diamond, and I'm still going to go on Vanderpump Rules. Like Garcelle was just doing the damn thing. Doing it. Hey, Janet, I don't fight with my sister. If I'm ever annoyed with her, the only person I share those thoughts with are my husband. Hey, Grace, Garcelle is too smart for them. Exactly. Labithia says, Janet, at Janet, exactly. Natalia says, Cherie would get along with Erica. Didn't FBI raid her house for fraud? Girl, allegedly she was either about to be raided or she was on the list or they did raid her or something because allegedly she was selling knockoff designer handbags and stuff. Hey, Janet, Grace, you nailed it. Garcelle is too smart. Exactly. Hey, Kaylee. She goes, yes, you can't make a true queen. You can't take a true queen down. Exactly. 100%. Hey, Foxy says, right, Grace. Hey, Teresa. Before Kathy came on the show, there were rumors that she wanted to take Kyle off the show. This may have set Kyle in motion to work with the Fox 4, but it backfired for real. But the thing is, I think that was during the time Kathy going against Kyle. I think that was during the Kim Richards time where Kathy was really pissed at Kyle for not protecting Kim. But allegedly they had made up since then, which it seems like on the thing, right? Hey, Kimmy Pie, I miss Kim Richards. I need her and Camille back if they decide to keep Rinna. Listen, if they decide to keep Rinna, I want Camille back. I want LVP back. I want Denise Richards back. I want Kim to come back in that capacity that's healthy for her. I want Yolanda to come back as a cameo just to shade the F out of Rinna. But I don't want Rinna to come back as a diamond holder. If they bring her back, I want her demoted to friend of. I want her to eat the most crow. I want one more season of Rinna where she's a friend of. She doesn't get the diamond. She gets the lesser check. And all the people that she tried to play over the years come back holding diamonds, cashing the checks, and reading her for filth. And then she can just go away wherever people like her go. I don't know. Hey, Darren Hood, I can't wait to see these reunion looks because allegedly the ladies didn't take a group photo. Yeah, they were saying that this was the first time that they ever did not take a group photo after. Now, when it comes to the reunion, you guys, do we think... This is the thing when it comes to the reunion. They already shot it. So whatever happened in the reunion happened, right? I'm just kind of like... Is the reunion going to be good? Is it going to answer the questions we want to have answered? Because now that we're seeing the last episodes, did they address it at the reunion? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to know, like, I need this reunion to have answers. And I feel like we're not going to get the answers. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hey, G Sawyer, you never win when you play dirty. That's right. That's right. Oof, you guys, we've been on here for an hour and 45 minutes. Woo woo. I'm going to take a couple more. And then I have an announcement to make. Kimmy Pie says, I know I can dream. Yes. Janet says, I want Camille and Denise back on the show. Yes, yes, yes. Yay. All right. Okay, let's see. I'll take one more. Natalia says, they cannot keep Lisa after bashing the network and don't bring back Nene. Well, Nene sued them, though. So, I mean, it's one thing to talk crap on Twitter. It's another thing to take them to court. So, I see what you're saying, but we have to remember Nene, like, actually sued them. Hey, Foxy, that would be so good, Candy. I know. Okay, I'm going to take a couple more comments, and then I have an announcement. Hi, Fayez. Kathy is an obvious liar. That part. She is fake AF. Those crocodile tears, 100%. Hey, Green Filter. Lollipop Head should only come back when we want to talk about the husbands, right? That part. They need to take Harry off limits. They have to take Harry off limits. Janet says, nobody can change my mind. Kyle is after Kathy. Yeah. Kyle is after Kathy, 100%, but it backfired on her. Hey, G Sawyer, Andy always hype up these reunions. rhobh reunion season 14, the worst. That's why I'm kind of on the fence. We'll have to watch and see. But I'm kind of like, Hi, Fayez, if Kathy Hilton keeps lying, then the reunion will be a bust. Kathy Hilton? Oh, you said Kathy is an obvious liar. Really? I think it's Kyle and Rinna. Hey, Janet, Teresa's table flip was iconic. I mean, and also violent. So you know what I mean? Teresa flips the table. It's iconic. I wonder it would be iconic if, let's say, I don't know, if Marlo flipped a table. Would it be iconic or would it be violent? Would it be a commentary on all Black women and violence? You see what I'm saying? Bravo loves the criminals. Bravo loves criminals. All right, you guys. We've been on here for over an hour and 45 minutes. Be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe. You're going to want to subscribe because next week, same time, same place, I am doing a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills finale tea party with Freddie. I don't know if you guys know Freddie. He's really cool. He's always up on Sherelle's World. He's on Sherelle's World a ton of times, and he's always bringing the tea about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and everything going on. So next week, Freddie and I will be co-hosting on my channel the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills finale tea party. So we will talk about the finale. We'll talk about all of the rumors, all the allegations, all of the lies, we're going to get into all of it, and it's going to be a really good time. He is basically like a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills sleuth. He has all the tea. He has everything. So it's going to be so much fun. He's really nice, really kind, really funny. And one thing I really like about Freddie is that he always has a point of view. He brings the tea. He brings the, the blind items, all that stuff, but he also has a point of view. And that's something that I try and do on my show. Like I'll read the article, I'll read the blind item, I'll read the latest, but I also always want to have, an opinion, a point of view, an objective on it that I can share to have a real conversation. So I'm so excited. So be sure to catch us next week for that and to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Yes, yes, and he's British. He is. Yeah, yep, he's British. So with that, you guys, oof, this has been so much fun. I mean, honestly, thank you, all my candy canes, for coming with me and hanging out and just riffing and just letting me vibe out on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's been so much fun. I love you guys. So you know what to do. Before you head out, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to join us next week. I will have Freddie will be my co-host. His channel is called Reality Diamond. So go ahead and subscribe to him as well. It's Reality Diamond on YouTube. And yeah, also be sure to check out the description box below. We have tons of goodies there, and Shop the Love collection. I designed it, so I hope you love it. And share this with a friend, because a key is always better with community. And speaking of community, I just want to say thank you to my beautiful candy canes. I love you guys so much. Coming up here and talking to you guys is the highlight of my day. So I love you guys so much. Watch out for Lisa Rinna's. Watch out for Erica Jane's. Watch out for Dorit Kimsley's, and definitely watch out for Kyle Richards. All I gotta say with that, Team Kathy, Team Garcelle, Team LVP, and we out. I love you. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!